guess what? I lied. Deal with it. What is up, YouTube? I'm your friendly neighborhood Endman64, bringing you the next episode of Pokemon Scarlet. In the last episode, we got set up for the end game. Professor Sada is now trapped in Area Zero, and we have to go somehow rescue her. Or help her, or something. I don't know. We have to recruit a few people to our team. Me, Arvin, I'm assuming the Stalker, and I'm assuming the girl that I would like to stalk, and Penny, LOL JK. But before we can do any of that, we must obtain the last gym badge and slay the last dragon, aka the final of Team Star's bosses. But in order to do that, before we can do that, I'm afraid we have one last session of classes to attend to. One last round of all of our favorite subjects. So we can make sure we've taken all of our classes and we're good little ladies and gentlemen. Why? Well, because we have to. Because we have to. Hello, hello! I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. Next time we meet, we'll have our final exam. That means today is our last actual class. And the topic for this last class will be Pokemon forms. You can just think of forms as the shapes or appearances that Pokemon have. There's also a phenomenon called form change, where a Pokemon's appearance changes under certain conditions. Cyclizar, for example, which we regularly ride on as transportation here in Paldea, has 3 forms. First is its basic form, where it walks on 4 legs. Second is its battle form, where it stands on its hind legs to engage in battle. Finally, there's its ride form, where it inflates its throat sac and its tail so that we can ride on its back. Though we can use something you're all carrying with you now as an even better example. Yep, I'm talking about your phones. Some smartphones are inhabited by a certain Pokemon. Does anyone know the Pokemon I'm referring to? Heracross. I love it. Oh, you're a regular expert on Pokemon and technology, aren't you, Mikey? The Pokemon inside your smartphone is Rotom, and it does all sorts of things to help you out. A Rotom inside a Rotom phone is special, so it doesn't try to enter other electronics. An ordinary Rotom, however, can change form by entering washing machines, microwave ovens, and other electronic appliances. Which we have since I won that bid in Puerto Maranata. Beautiful. Rotom is a bit of an exception, though. Many Pokemon that change form do so simply by holding an item or having one used on them. Oricorio, for example, has 4 different forms it can change between when given certain nectars. Pokemon may even change type or learn different moves when they change form. Form changes are different from evolution in that the Pokemon can return to its original form. And unlike shiny Pokemon, which can't change their special coloration, the same individual Pokemon can go back and forth between its forms. There's a lot to dig into with this form change phenomenon, as you can see. We can all learn something from Pokemon here, don't you think? Bit of a stretch, but I'd be happy to see you all enjoy your time at the Academy to the fullest, and change form into a new version of yourselves. Or something like that, anyway. Oh, I almost forgot. Regional forms, which vary based on what region a Pokemon came from, don't change like other forms. They're an innate... Whoops, there's the bell. I guess I was scatterbrained Mr. Jacques right up to the very end, huh? I had a great time teaching all of you. I hope you'll do your best on the final exam. I really hope we don't have to do that until after I've completed everything. That would be very thankful. I guess we're about to find out. Cross your fingers. Am I doing multiple episodes of this back? Oh, son of a bitch, I am. Oh my god, this is awful. Alright. Little by little. Let's do this. We got back-to-back class episodes, I suppose. Hello everyone, I hope we have fun once again today for our last class together. Last time we learned about probability, using move accuracy as an example. Probability is quite an interesting subject. Did you know that in a class with 40 students, there is a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday? What? This is true even despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. Isn't that remarkable? Well, let's move on to today's topic before we get swept along with probability again. I've been teaching you all how to calculate damage in this class using examples like type matchups, critical hits, stat boosts, and the like. All these variables are multiplied together to calculate damage dealt to an opponent. However, did you know that there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon's moves? All you have to do is have your Pokemon use a move it shares a type with. If a Rock-type Pokemon uses the Rock-type move Stone Edge, the move's base power of 100 is multiplied by 1.5 to become 150. Ground and Rock may seem like similar types, but if a Ground Rock-type Pokemon uses Stone Edge, the move's power will remain 100. Super effective moves and critical hits also add multipliers on this little numerical increase, so it most certainly must not be taken lightly. Let me ask you a question to see if you understand what I'm talking about here. Say you have a move with a power of 100. If a Pokemon that shares a type with this move uses it, and hits an opponent that is weak to that type, what happens to that move's power? Let's see. So it gets the same type attack bonus. Its power goes up. Times 4. Yep, 300. You did that calculation all in your head? Well done, Mikey. First, using a move that shares a type with its user multiplies the move's base power of 100 by 1.5, making the power 150. The fact that the opponent is weak to the move's type then doubles that power from 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled. Isn't that amazing? What's more, if a Pokemon terastallizes and its Terra type matches one of its original types, then the bonus it gets from using a move of that same type increases from 1.5 to 2. Of course, being able to use a lot of moves with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own innate characteristics are what will really let you shine the most. Bear in mind that this is true for both humans and Pokemon. It sure would make me happy if you could take those words to heart. But I suppose I should really have shared this basic advice right from our first lesson. My apologies. And just like that, class is over. The last of our time together flew by in the blink of an eye. It was so much fun to be able to teach all you eager students about numbers. Next class will be our fun final exam. Be sure to review the material well in preparation. Or you could just be like the End Man and have the cheat sheet up. Alright, let us not grab one of these finals. Let's just keep going down the list. History with one of my favorite teachers, Miss Ryfort. No offense, Miss Ryfort, but nothing will beat Dendra. Dendra is queen. Dendra is the boss. And I think she knows it. Why is my stalker in every one of my classes? Good lord. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about the Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably toward the future. Would it not be more of an advantage to march toward the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? Ass kisser. I'll do it. So you agree with me, do you, Mikey? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us toward the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of a terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were in fact terastallized Pokemon. However, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be the present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Aha! Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Mikey. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Heath, Sedan, or Clavel? Clavel's a director. Heath didn't get the name professor, so it must be my queen. Correct. To think that you, a new transfer to our academy, could correctly answer this question. You must be very diligent in your studies. No, I just am in love with Professor Sada, so it works like that. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Sada unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our Academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, this story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history classes. Our next session will be our final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. I will forever be the kiss ass to Miss Ryfort. My favorite, one of my favorites. Alright. So, unfortunately, that means we have to go take our language class now. Language. No. We're going to do all the finals in one shot, too. Cram them all into our brain. If the school's going to make us cram them in, I'm going to make you cram them in. Damn it. I swear to God. Speak English, please. Not that I'm racist. I just seriously want to not have to read French badly again. My dear friends, how are all of you today? It's time for the last of Salvatore's language lessons. Fine, oui. What the response fantastique. Great answer. That is. Perfect for our last lesson together. I love it. And today, we will once again be having a listening lesson. Alright, Pikachu, come on out, buddy. Let's get right to it, my little Pikachu friend. For our last listening class, tell everyone how you're feeling right now. Ooh, can you feel that? That one's contagious emotion in Pikachu's voice. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu is trying to convey now? I'm gonna go happiness. Well done, Mikey. I'm so happy that you got it right. Get it? No. That's why I'm wearing my glasses, dude. I'd be shooting lasers in your eye if I was Cyclops. When Pikachu says, it's expressing happiness. Doesn't it make you just want to break out into a happy dance? If it was Mudkip, I'd definitely do it, but not Pikachu. I love Pikachu, but more of a Mudkip guy myself. I didn't have to ask Pikachu to put on an act today. Oh no, I simply asked it to show you all how it felt about getting to have class with you. Getting to meet so many new friends and study together in this class with you. It made both me and my little Pikachu so very happy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you one last wise word of advice. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will all have times when you get mad or sad, maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a veritable roller coaster. But, in the end, there is surely happiness waiting for you. Keep your smile on your face, even in the hardest times. Atta Pikachu. When you're faced with a problem that you can't handle alone, find someone to rely on, be it a teacher, your family, your friends, anyone. Next lesson will be our final exam. Be sure to review what we've learned in all of our lessons so far. Adios, matane! Alright, finally, a good class. My favorite teacher, Milady Dendra. Milady Dendra. I don't know what else she could teach us. She's basically taught us everything. So, this is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we ramp things up. You've shown that you have more than enough knowledge to be super strong battlers. I don't know that I have much left to teach you. But we can always aim for even greater heights. So today I'm going to teach you about the rules of link battles. When two trainers participate in link battles together, they can engage in either single battles or double battles with each other. And if you're playing in a group of 4, you can all battle each other in multi-battles. Now, when you're out having battles during your independent study, you can use whatever number of Pokemon you like, and they can be any level. But in link battles, there are special rules to keep in mind. Some of these special rules involve adjusting Pokemon's levels. Now, the no restriction rule lets all Pokemon stay at their current level. It lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiples of the same held item too. But if you choose to use normal rules, all Pokemon will be set to level 50 for your battles, regardless of what level they actually are. This even includes lower level Pokemon. They'll get a power boost to participate. Normal rules let you use multiples of the same Pokemon species and of the same held items too. The great part about this rule set is that it lets any of your Pokemon participate. All they have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the rule set called Flat Rules mostly affects Pokemon over level 50. Such Pokemon will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. The Flat Rules set is the one often used for official tournaments. This rule set does not allow trainers to use multiple Pokemon of the same species or multiples of the same held item. Alright, here's a question for you. Which rule set should you pick if you want to use a lower level Pokemon to keep its level low? Flat Rules. That's the one, new kid. She's the only one who has never learned my name, and I love it. Looks like you were the one listening to the lesson. Looks like you were listening to the lesson. If you got some clever strategy that you need to use a level 5 Pokemon for, your best bet is to choose the Flat Rules rule set. Of course, you can also choose no restrictions if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want, at any level, and with any held item. That's a pretty good rule set for when you want to battle freely with friends. In conclusion, normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50. Flat rules let you use lower level Pokemon at their actual levels. I hope you'll use these tips to have some exciting battles with your friends. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home, but I guess we truly are out of time. Next class will be our final exam. Aim for a perfect score. Sure thing, milady, sure thing. Alright, time for art class. All we got left after that is our finals. And home ec. Cannot forget Kaiser Permanente. He can't be Kaiser Wilhelm, so he'll be Kaiser Permanente instead. Oh my lord. My phone is being plagued by ads. From the stupid page, of course. Doesn't want to cooperate. Thank you. For the love of God, don't ever load ads on my phone again. Oh my god! It's still trying to load ads. What are you doing? Oh my god. Why are you doing this to me? The teacher's talking. I'm in the middle of class, you chads. Oh cool! Phone crashed. Beautiful. Hello class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art. That's why Penny's here. Penny looks like she's dead inside. But there is absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when a Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friends ribbon. Incidentally, there is a person in Cascarafa who can give your Pokemon a Best Friends ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as the Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you'll run into a Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? You can change their title. Wonderful, Mikey. Your knowledge is impressive. The correct answer is that Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. For example, you could send out a Gibble with the Best Friends ribbon by declaring, "Go Gibble the Great Friend." And while I know I just said that the marks are generally found already on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, It seems that more recently, Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These are partners such as the Gorman mark, the Item Finder mark, the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try work on how to get each mark using its name as a clue. Well, that just about wraps up our last class. Next is the final exam. Please review our material closely so that you pass on your first try. Or be like the End Man and just don't do that. And cheat. Don't worry, I reloaded it. We're good. Don't want to miss Kaiser Permanente's class. He's the last one we have to do. And then we'll graduate from Naranja Academy and be kings, I guess. I don't know. Do we become gods in this school? It's literally like no classes you can even take after a while. Hey look, it's the Chad Arvin! Put away your phones. It is time to begin our last class together. Home economics is the study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realized that I focused almost entirely on food. And washing my Pokemon, I'll never forget that. I hope it is not too late to shift the discussion of clothing, another necessity, in our last class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish, whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one each for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issued. This includes your bag or your hat, if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules when I was a boy. Especially that Kaiser Permanente stash. That reminds me. There's one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Our Rotom phones. Perfectly correct. That's the adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit that I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase your cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you all for that bit of useful information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small task. Ahem. As this class known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who may have been honing everyday life skills, like me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken, I would be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives, even if only a little. The sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on our final exam. Alright, this is the last school session. These are the last 2 school sessions we have. Next time on Pokemon Scarlet, we take our finals. You know, if my controller won't just try to make me run 90 miles in different directions. Until we meet again, my lovelies, sayonara.